Hey, welcome to the Flourish Intensive. I'm so glad you're here and I'm excited to dive in with more details about what is this program. This entire program is ready to go, ready for enrollments. And so you are actually here today because you are like, you know what is this Flourish program and how can it help me? So we're going to cover that today and we're going to talk about what this looks like. Flourish Intensive enrollment is open and we're going to cover everything you need to know in our Flourish Intensive. So today we're going to talk about what is Lynn Fitness Coaching, what it is that I do, how did Lynn Fitness come about, because I think that is a huge alignment in making sure that you know what you're getting into, right? Who are you working with? Who is this person? And does it align with what I'm looking to do in my fitness and nutrition journey? We're going to talk about what is the Flourish Intensive and what is the core program, because they are going to be combined. And this is the first time I've ever done this Flourish Intensive. And I'm really excited about it because it really combines the fitness and your faith as a solid foundation so you can continuing building on it in the future. And then also we're going to talk about what does it look like to enroll? Why should we do it now? Number one, your kids deserve better. Your daily choices shape their future. And when you're thriving, when you're in alignment, when you are taken care of, they also learn to thrive. Your kids deserve better. They deserve a better version of you. They deserve the best version of you. And by you taking action here, you're setting them up for success. Age doesn't stop. You were saying someday, one day, Monday, next month, right? It is keeping you stuck and it is time to shift that into my time is now. I will do this now. I am taking care of me. There is a deadline for this intensive, and that is March 4th because we are starting in this cohort. We are rocking and rolling on March 5th. And there's only 20 spots available. So this is your one chance that you will get to jump in and actually look back on this and go, I am so glad that I took a chance on myself. I'm so glad that I stepped into focusing on my foundation, focusing on my faith, focusing on how I can set a solid routine for myself and for my kids. And so that's what we're going to be covering today. So who is this for? So I'm going to stop you right here. I want to make sure that as you dive in here, I want to make sure this is for you. If you are a high achieving mom who loves and thrives off of a checklist, the to-do lists, but you know that there's something more. You feel like, okay, I'm doing all the things on my to-do list, but I'm still just kind of in this mundane, and that you know there's something deeper and something more for you. If you are a natural gift for finding solutions. Maybe you get overwhelmed and you're like, you know what? I know what to do. This is what we need to take care of. I'm going to look for the solution, right? You're someone that is just very focused on just finding the answers, and someone that is going to take action the moment you know it's an alignment. You feel it in your gut. You're like, I feel so good and this is the right choice for me. If that is you, that's who this program is for. And then maybe you're someone that is you just dream bigger. You know there's more out there, right? You've done all the things and you're sick of settling for those quick fixes. You're sick of those 30-day this and the 8-week that, right? You've done it. You've been there. You've already experienced those. Now you're ready to actually start building that legacy, not just for a routine, but for your family, right? And in order for you to do that, it's hard. It takes you. You have to step in first. You are always constantly putting everyone else first. And now is your opportunity to actually change that. So if you've been nodding your head, yes, I know this is you. This is who we're talking to. This is who you need to continue listening. And if I read some of that and you're like, this is not for me, just pause the video. Peace out. Love you. Would love to support you in our fit community. But if this is you and you've been nodding your head, continue listening. And I have 3 asks for you. Number one, just stay with me until the end. I promise that this is so worth it. I promise that this is going to be something that is fulfilling for you. And I promise that you're going to want to hear what we've got in store. And then I want to encourage you to share this on your Instagram stories, share this on your socials, because every mom deserves a chance to actually lean into this. And this is something that you've probably not heard before. Maybe you haven't stepped in before, but you know there's something deeper. And I know that you have your ride or die mom friend that you're like, oh my gosh, she needs to hear this, right? So maybe you tag her in this video, tag her in one of my posts on social, or maybe you just send her the direct link to sign up with you. Because I promise you that if you've got that buddy going along with you, you are going to have a 50% higher chance of doing this because you've got a support system. Okay. So you're probably like, who is this lady? Who am I? What does she have to say? And why am I listening to her? Okay. So I am the owner of Lynn Fitness. I launched Lynn Fitness in 2020, but I've been in the fitness and nutrition industry for a long time. Since 2011 is actually when I kind of stepped into it. I'm a mom of 3 girls. We homeschool in our family, and I am a Christian and woman of faith. So that's who I am. A little bit about my story, just so you can understand, like, how did I get here, and why am I so passionate about this? So in 2011, it was the start of my fitness journey. I actually was a cheer and gymnastics coach for a long time. And in 2011, I had a breakup that I actually gained 30 pounds. And I'm only 5 foot. So that was a huge amount of weight that I was carrying. And through those couple of years, I was just like, this is not working for me. So I, of course, did what a new person does, right? I started running. I started not eating as much. I started kind of cleaning up my diet a little bit. And then it brought me to this middle picture, which is me at a very, very, very low weight. So as you can see here, it went from one extreme to the other. I was eating 1 meal a day. I was drinking a Route 44 sweet tea, and I felt like total trash. Even though people were like, you look so good. You've lost so much weight. You look so skinny. It didn't even feel that well. Like, it didn't even feel that good inside. And I knew that something had to change. And the next thing you know, I met my husband. We moved to Houston, Texas. And then I'm pregnant with my first kid. And I'm like, how am I going to lead another child or a human, when I can't even lead myself? Like, I was in this big yo-yo diet and always going all or nothing in all of my diet and nutrition regimens. And I was like, something has got to stop, and I need to figure this out so I don't pass these habits and routines along to my kids. Okay. So 2019 kind of rolls around. I went through, ups and downs. I've had a couple of babies throughout the way. 2020 hit, and I realized, oh my gosh, I want to dive in deeper and work with women on a closer level. So here we are, launched Lynn Fitness in 2020. So glad I did. It's the best decision I've ever made in my fitness journey, for one, and two, on my, it just feels so good. And I know God pulled me in that direction for so many reasons. And when I look back and I reflect on all the things he prepared me for prior to 2020, and even I look at my journey now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could see how all of it was plain as day. Right. And now here we are it's 2025 now, but I'm a mama of 3. I'm a fitness and nutrition coach, and this is where we're at. So why is this program different? Why is Lynn Fitness something that I am so passionate about, and why should you learn from me? Right. So let's talk a little bit about how my philosophies work. What are my methods, and why is Lynn Fitness something different than something you've experienced before? Okay. So want to let you know, there are 6 versions of your personal journey when you are progressing. Now, can be pertained to anything in fitness and nutrition, in your entrepreneurship journey, and in your business, in anything. And so if you're thinking like, oh my gosh, this totally lands here, right? Like, you set the intention, you got to change your behavior. And then once you start changing your behavior, you create those habits, and those habits become normal. And then you start practicing these habits. And next thing you know, that habit and that behavior that was so hard to develop is now second nature. Right? And then it becomes who you are, and people start asking you, who are you? What are you doing? And you start creating that legacy. And so here is a little bit about what the Lynn Fitness Roadmap looks like. So as you know, inside this intensive program, you are going to be getting the 6-month core program. And so not only are you doing the 40-day intensive, you are also aligning it with the methods and strategies that we have inside the core program. So this is my entire process on how I walk women through their fitness and nutrition journey. And I have 4 different programs that you can go along with and that you can continue working with me on. But right now we're just focusing on the core, which is where we really become aware of what we're doing. We really focus on habit development. And then we move into my evolution program, my limitless program, and then my legacy. So back to this program, like, you can't build from 1 to 6, you have to go through all of these different levels in order to get to level 6, right? And so the same thing is going to be walking alongside of you right here in your fitness and nutrition journey in the Lynn Fitness Roadmap. So we're going to start with core. We're going to then go into our evolution program, where we really just practice and execute and do this for long term. And then inside limitless, this is where you start getting, like, this is the fun part. This is where you really start to go, hey, like, I'm kind of ready for more. I want to do more. You are limitless inside of that program. And then legacy is where we start shifting conversation around not just like what you're doing personally, but how can we change that household and really start implementing things around conversations around nutrition, habits and routines that you do in your home, and all of those things. And so this is just a roadmap of what everything we do at Lynn Fitness. And this is why we are different. This is why this program is so near and dear to my heart is because I know that we walk through every piece of the journey together. And so we're not a quick fix. We're not about quick fixes here at Lynn Fitness. Your journey actually deserves lasting foundations. And just like we talk about in the Bible, you cannot build a home on sand, right? You have to have that solid foundation, and not a temporary Band-Aid. And because if you are watching this, you probably have already experienced all of those temporary Band-Aids and doing those things before and those quick fixes, right? And then we also lead with heart. So together, everything that we do here is really uniquely designed for where you're at. And so when I work with women, it's not about like follow this cookie cutter plan that everyone else in their journey can follow. It's really working with you to create a holistic and unique transformation from where you are and where you're starting in order for you to thrive. And then our proven 3M method, it works. There's been hundreds of women that have gone through my program the last couple of years and who have already transformed how they look at fitness, how they look at food, how they look at their routines and their habits in their life. And so I'm going to share a couple of stories with you. We've got Amber here, who is a lovely mom. She lost 12 pounds in her first 12 weeks, which it's not always about fat loss or the physical aspect here, but as a fitness and nutrition journey, getting yourself in optimal spaces where you are able to thrive in a physical way and in an emotional way. And so when we talk about holistically, this is what happens. Like your body starts to respond because you're working from an emotional state, a mental state, and they're doing the physical things to have your body then fall in line and see results. And then we've got, this is Angela. She's a mom of 2, and her boys are actually a little bit older, and they are going into college and all that kind of good stuff. But she was on it. When we talk about having a routine and strategy to implement, she worked this system and these methods like butter. It was so fun. So 20 pounds in 20 weeks, super fun to work with her because she was so positive and so passionate and just always had her heart in it. And she just implemented so many of wonderful strategies and methods that we teach inside of the Lynn Fitness program because she's an action taker. And then we've got Ashley here, which one of my favorite stories because she is when you talk about high achiever, she works 60-hour weeks, very high demanding job. She's in leadership, and she's got also 3 kids in their teenage years, like that mid-teen years, early teen years, right? And she just really wanted to not hurt anymore. She wanted to really start implementing a healthy habits for her kids. And check this out. The first couple of months inside the Lynn Fitness program, massive, massive results. And so she just really leaned in to just putting herself first, setting the time aside to make sure that she got her workouts in. And even if it was standing at her walking desk, like those kind of things all matter. And so just wanted to give a shout out to a couple of my clients that we worked with along the way. So what is the Flourish Intensive? So we know that transformation starts with a strong foundation. We already talked about that, right? So why I created the Flourish program is because it's a powerful 40-day faith-based intensive combined with our 6-month core program. And that core program is going to help you build lasting change. You're going to impact generations, right? We're going to impact those kids. But combining your faith with your fitness is when things really start to change. When I think back on things that I have experienced, I'm like, okay, all or nothing mindset. I'm not worth it. I'm not good enough, right? But when I start pouring all of these thoughts into my relationship with Jesus and praying about it and leaning on his understanding instead of my own, like everything just starts to fall into place. You have grace in your fitness journey. Give yourself grace, right? Like you're not beating yourself up for not having a perfect macro or hitting that perfect workout, right? And so really combining the two together creates this perfect foundation. And we know that as the heart of the family, as the mom, you play a huge pivotal role in really creating that wellness space at home. And so this is, if you are not, I know you're not, actually, I know you're not looking for a quick fix because you made it this far into the video. And so I just want to encourage you that when you align your faith and your values together, you have 43% better results because your results are aligned with what your values are. It is super cool and super fun to see. So how does this work? What does this program look like? Let's talk about what does the commitment look like for you. So we've got the 40-day intensive. So here are some of the things that you're going to be getting along inside of it. And it's the front end of the core program. So you're going to be doing core program along with your 40-day intensive. You've got your daily scripture. You've got your mindset work, your custom nutrition, everything is working together and really just integrating your faith with your fitness, right? And so this program will be a standalone program that I am actually going to be doing next year on in addition to what I offer, but this is going to be $1,000 program. So Flourish Intensive alone, standalone program is well worth it. Then you've got your core program. This is your 6-month coaching program where you've got accountability, monthly strategy sessions. Like there's so much that I could like dive into here. But walking alongside women that are in the same boat as you and you're in the same room as them and you're doing this together. And so you've got your habits, your routines, you've got a progressive strategy, you've got your workouts, all the things. Like I basically can name off all the stuff. But what I want you to know is following my methods, following the strategies that we implement inside the Chaselyn Fitness program is going to, then you partner it with your mindset and your faith. You can move mountains at this point. And so I want to encourage you that both of these together are going to be a perfect partnership. And so what does this look like? What is the commitment level? So I've got 2 options on how you can actually join the program and how you can step in and work with us. So number 1 is going to be a pay in full option, 1 payment, and you get $1,000 reward for paying in full. And so I want to let you know, instead of that $8,800 price point, which both of those programs will be in the future, and I want you to know you get both of them for $3,500 if you pay in full. And then if you want to break that up into monthly payments, you've got around $750 a month, which is going to be your 6 payments to equal $4,500 for a total investment for the 6 months and the Flourish Intensive. Waitlist is open on already, and it is going to close on February 16th. And then once the waitlist closes for 24 hours, those on the waitlist will get early access to enrollment for 24 hours. And then the doors are going to open to the public. Then our cohort for this round starts on Monday, March 5th. And so super excited. Wanted to make sure you had those specific dates because we have a waitlist area. And then we have 2 weeks of where you can actually doors are open for enrollments. And wanted to share, if you are in a space where you're like, yes, I want to see results like Kelly here, who's lost 9 pounds and 6.5 inches, Jaleesa, where she's down 10 inches and 9 pounds. We've got Brittany, who owns her own flipping company, construction company, who lost 11 pounds. She actually wasn't even in the program for weight loss. She was in the program because she wanted to gain muscle mass. She was like, get me in a regimen, tell me what to do. And she implemented. Talk about high achieving woman. This lady is a powerhouse. And then you've got Melissa here, who is a mother of 2. She dropped 15 pounds and 8 inches in the core program. And she too is a owner of a statewide literacy program where she is actually partners and contracts with the school districts and really implements a literacy program and helps children in reading, but she runs her own company, right? And she was able to step into this and making sure that she's setting a solid foundation for her boys. And then we've got Holly here, who actually went from working for a company to opening her own company to then like, it was nuts. It was so fun to work with her. Had so many results because, again, we talk about being a high achieving woman. Oh my gosh. Like, look at the results. She's gotten 21 pounds and 32 inches across her body and actually became pregnant with her 2nd child through my program. And we walked through her entire pregnancy as well. And then we've got Shannon here, who in her first 8 weeks in the program dropped 10 inches. And as you can see, that was all muscle gaining because she didn't even lose any weight. And so she actually put on muscle, and dropping inches is showing that you're dropping body fat. And she had so many wonderful results. And so this is what the Flourish Intensive is. And now is the time to get started. And if this sounds like you and you're like, just got that overwhelming like excitement and like hope for something new and a new journey, like I want to encourage you to just lean into what that feeling is, because this is how you create lasting change for not only you, but for your family, for those around you. And I just want to encourage you that this is something that you can do. And I am excited to see you, and I cannot wait to see you on the inside. So all of the details for this program, all of the recaps are here below in this actual website. And so you can sign up, enroll, do all the things here on this page. And if you have any questions, DM me Flourish on Instagram and we can just have a conversation. Would love to talk to you and look forward to seeing you on the inside.